they're executing perfectly here. Finally, Morgul, their Guardian's taking some damage, but at this point, I feel like they have enough of a lead that it really is not going to make that much of a difference to lose their Logi.
I mean, if they lose their Logi, though, they may still be able to win the fight, but keeping that Balgorn alive without the Logi. We still have 3 Foons on the field here and an Eos. That is a lot of damage. If that Logi goes down, then their flagship Balgorn could definitely be vulnerable. That being said, he's holding on pretty well.
For Ronin, they have 2 Blackbirds on the field, and they have some damp support. The less ships that dead terrorists have left on the field, the more they can spread that E-War, the more effective it becomes effectively. So every time there is a blue ship exploding, that's just more E-War applied to the DPS ships that are remaining for it. And that really can play havoc as you get later into a match.
Yeah, I mean, there you go, another Frick going down. It is one of those things we have seen before in other matches in previous tournaments where you get that snowball effect with an EW-based team, whether it's electronic countermeasures from a Blackbird or damps from a Celestis, is that once the number of opposing ships drops lower, that is concentrated a lot more. And that's another one of those big reasons why you want to bring as many pilots as possible to spread out that E-War. And at this point, it is looking like the Ronin are in a pretty strong position, although they have now lost to Heretic.
Yep. They've only really got one Tristan left, and the Heretics are mostly effective against frigates. I feel like they're the anti-support ships that might be a little too late on, breaking one of those down. And it looks like the Guardian's back comfortably. The Blackbird's still at full health. So really, right now, it looks like Dead Terrorists are beating against a brick wall and not getting very far.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing the Heretics will be quite good for in a fight like this when it goes long is shooting at drones. They'll be able to use those missiles to pick off some of the rep drones, to pick off some of the damaged drones that the EOS could use. And we'll potentially see that continuing to be used. We've definitely seen a bit of it. But unless Morgul's Guardian goes down, I don't think there's any way that we're going to see many more ships, like especially the big ships, lost for the Ronin.
Yeah, he is back to taking some damage. He's target painted there, it looks like, from 2 different ships, and those missiles are hitting it pretty well. But another Tristan now very seriously struggling on the Dead Terrorist side.
And there he goes.
Yep, and the Guardian is still holding on about 2/3 armor. So, again, I've been saying this the whole match, but it looks like Ronin had this very well in hand.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a very strong position for the Ronin to be in. And the Ronin, of course, is a team that we expected to do quite well in this tournament. They are a team with a very long tournament history. They came in second all the way back in the 3rd Alliance tournament. These guys, they've competed under the name RUR in the past, as well as the Ronin. And they did very well in the last Alliance tournament as well, making a very deep run and staying in the winner's bracket for much longer than most. So we would expect them to be a team that is going to be a solid performer, I think.
Yep, so I see somebody in stream chat asking what a heretic is. It's kind of something in between a frigate and a cruiser called it's a destroyer hull. It's actually an interdictor, but they're very effective against frigates. They have light weapons, small weapons that are very good at targeting frigates, and they put out quite a bit of damage, so they really are an anti-support style ship.
Yep, and these heretics that Ronin are fielding are fit with light missiles, which have exceptional range for a small ship, so they can sit quite far away from the battle and use those to pick off small targets. You also see the Flycatcher is another similar ship in this kind of role that people will bring out. The heretic has the advantage of having a much stronger tank, but the Flycatcher gives you some more E-War options.
And in past tournaments, we'd seen Sabres used in the same role, but now the Heretic is a much more effective ship. As I'm saying this, the Bilgorn dropped to about half armor there, but it looks like the Guardian still got reps on. I'm not sure what's slowing that down, but we have a Typhoon for Mini Instructor Khan. It's starting to take armor damage. The Proteus is keeping up with it, but who knows? At this point, it may just be a stalemate until time. We're not sure.
Yeah, we do have
about a minute and a half left.
Yeah, just about a minute and a half left, and the Balgorn is back up to full armor, so he's in pretty good shape there. It looks like it was probably just a case of the Guardian taking a moment to get his reps onto him, but he's in fine shape. He also has a big swarm of medium and light maintenance bots on him that are going to help keep him alive.
One thing that's interesting, I'm looking at the E-War over there, and you're seeing the ECM across 2 of the ships and damps on the others. And in a lot of cases, when you see an ECM and damp combination like that, what you'll do is what's called cycle jamming. You'll jam out a ship and then put scan resolution scripts into the damps to make it much longer for a big ship to relock things. And then you can cycle your ECM over to another target, jam it, and then go back to the original. And effectively, you can jam twice as many things doing that if you do it properly.
Yeah, at this point, it's probably the Typhoons have the Mimitar racial jammers from the Blackbirds on them, and then all of the rest of the jammers will be on the Proteus. Because anytime you can jam a Proteus in this situation, you're going to get probably a kill out of it. These Proteuses are obviously the linchpin of a Tinker setup like this, similar to the way the Tengu was in the the Castabouts team that we saw earlier. If that can't lock, then all of a sudden the rest of the team collapses around it.
Yeah, problem being it with these Tech 3s and the subsystems you can put on, the ways you can fit them, the way we've seen Tinkers fit in the past, you can make these things almost unjammable. I mean, you can
Yeah.
get the sensor strength so high that it's just almost pointless to try.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the effects of an ECCM. So it's a module on the ship that protects you from electronic warfare, running on the Proteus, and also there's actually a lot of uh, remote assistance, electronic assistance being passed back and forth among the rest of the dead terrorist team. So those are probably going to be remote sensor boosters mainly, but they could have some remote ECCM in there as well to help give them resistance. And that is the match over. The Ronin takes it on points. Obviously, not a ton of explosions in this match, but a very convincing victory for the Ronin. They were able to really come in with a strong plan against the Tinker team and dismantle them bit by bit. And so with that, we're going to send you back to some ads, and we'll be back in just a few minutes for the sexiest match of this entire day with Moist versus Easily Excited.
Okay, we'll just chillax for a sec, everybody. And then we'll just let Graphic explode, and it's gonna be awesome. It's not gonna be worth, 500 bill, but it's gonna be okay.
Do I have to like
them all
do
out.
it?
I want
Is
every
that kind of
dead
like
motherfucker out of the alliance.
No,
Every
no.
one.
bro?
No, Mad.
Hello and welcome, everyone. This is our next match of day one of the 12th Alliance tournament. This is CCP Fozzie, joined by Bacchanalian, and we've got Moist versus Easily Excited, the amazing matchup of suggestive names. And those of you that watched our tournament last year might be having some flashbacks after seeing Moist set up here. Moist has brought 3 Dominixes, a Tengu, 3 Molluses, a Jaguar, Merlin, and 3 Kestrels, likely trying to replicate the success of the Dominix Tinker setups from last year. It'll be interesting to see how they do.
Yep, Bacchanalian here, and looking at the Easily Excited team, they have brought a Damnation, Oneros, 3 Vexor Navies, 3 Vexors, and a very familiar set of cruisers, 3 Enyos, and a Harpy, so we're going to see an awful lot of drones. Imagine that.
The match has now begun. We've seen the entire Moist team come in at 50. We were talking a little bit before the match started about what we expect the guys to do on this team, and I was thinking that they're probably going to make their way slowly back to the micro jump unit behind them, but they're not. They're playing this as if this was 2013, and they're just sitting still.
Yeah, what's interesting, the Damnation warped in at 50, just keeping it way back out of the way. It speaks to putting a lot of points into that ship. We talked about that a little bit earlier. It's still a valuable ship, but here we see drones crossing the field from the Easily Excited team onto Moist, and you see the first Mollusk starting to take damage, perhaps auto aggro from being damped.
Yeah, so a lot of these drones are infiltrators, which is another thing that's changed since last year when infiltrators weren't very good. But now having drones that deal EM damage is working just fine. And that Mollusk got some reps, but then went down. Wow, he dropped pretty quickly, and the Tango just wasn't able to keep up with him.
Yep, and the second Mollusk, we're seeing the same thing. His shields are getting blasted away. I don't even see shields coming back on this one. Tengu did not have him locked. That's the sort of thing you might want to pre-lock as a Logi.
Tengu has damps on him, too. So
perhaps he can.
Amazingly, Moist has managed not to win the damp war with 3 Molluses.
And the Oneros we see for the Easily Excited team is starting to go into armor. We lose another frigate on the Moist side, so...
That's all 3 Molluses down. That's going to be a lot of their powerful damping off the field, which is going to make the life of that Oneros a whole lot easier to keep the rest of his team alive. Meanwhile, still a lot of E-War being applied to the Moist team. They're going to try to pick off the rest of these frigates. Now, that's going to hurt them in allowing the concentration of E-War and taking the damps off of the Easily Excited guys, but almost all of the Moist points are in those first 4 ships. 3 Dominixes and a Tengu is almost their entire team worth of points.
Well, this is something we've seen before today, and we've seen it before in past tournaments. If you win the support war, you're at a significant advantage for the rest of the match. And here we go. You have 3 Enyos and a Harpy going up against some Tech 1 frigates and Molluses. You're going to win that support war, and here they did. They executed that perfectly. They're going to wind up against a Tengu and 3 Damis before too long, and without losing a ship, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, the Moist guys have been trying to, after failing to kill the Oneros, they tried switching to a Vexor and failed to kill that. Now they're back trying to pick away at that Oneros. Dominixes in the past have been quite good at killing logistic ships in this kind of format, but it's just not doing the job in this case. We've increased the point cost of Dominixes since the last tournament because they have a lot of advantages in this kind of tournament format that serve them very well. The immunity to E-War, the ability to track small targets quite well. And Moist decided to play like it was the 11th Alliance tournament, and it isn't working out for them.
And that Tengu of theirs is absolutely getting pounded. He's tanking for now, but his shields are almost stripped. He's starting to bleed into armor now. You see a Vexor of Count Scary on the Easily Excited team starting to take damage, but now the Tengu's almost at half armor. The Tengu's down, and those Damis just melt, and here we go into structure now, and it's only a matter of another volley or 2 before he's off the field. Meanwhile, again, Easily Excited have not lost a ship.
Yeah, there we go. That's him down. And these Dominixes, Shield Dominix is not known for having a ton of effective hit points, a big buffer. They're still not moving. You'd think like moving a little bit, getting some orbiting going would at least reduce a little bit of your incoming damage. But no, they've decided they don't even want to try moving. And except for the first one has just started to inch away now. And it's only a matter of time. We do see fireworks on the field. It looks like some members of the Easily Excited team have gotten too excited and decided to let off the fireworks.
Oh, looks like a little prematurely there. The match is not quite over yet, but definitely see that first Domi of Turris on the Moist team well into armor now. Once his shields dropped, his armor just vanished into structure. He's going to explode, and again, I think this is going to be a clean shutout for Easily Excited, which again, looking at these comps, I guess not terribly surprising, but I would have expected them to perhaps break through a Vexor, maybe get the Logi down something.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is surprising they didn't kill anything, but this setup is, I think, definitely subpar for this tournament, and it's something they're going to have to improve upon next weekend if they want to stay in the tournament. It's a bit sad for me to see Moist dropping to the losers bracket. I have a special affinity for them because they have what is my favorite alliance description. Everyone should go check out their alliance description. I really love it. They obviously have a sense of humor, but as that Dominix drops now, just leaving one, that hasn't translated to effectiveness in this match.
Yeah, one dummy left. They finally do look like they actually took a chunk out of the Oneros, but at this point it's well beyond too late. And there's a call in local to loot the field.
Yep, yeah. Looting the field, a time-honored tradition. Obviously, with a lot of flagships flying around today, there's been a lot of very expensive modules. Not too many of those flagships died, but always good to check just in case to see if there's something really cool on the field. Oh, by the way, I've been asked by the recruiting officers of the CCP Alliance Tournament Corporation to let all those that have applied know that unfortunately you just didn't measure up. We thank you for your applications, but we need to be a bit more selective. So good luck with your next corporate application.
And it looks like the easily excited group are indicating local that they are low sec poor, so every little bit they can scrape together will help them in the future. So yeah, a very clean win to them. That looks like a very impressive turnout. They executed that very well. And I guess the next matchup we'll be seeing is Test Alliance versus Ashrakan. Am I correct there?
Yes, indeed. So we'll be back for that after just a few minutes of ads.